Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and we are glad in it. It's Millionaire Monday. Appreciate all of you for joining us live today. Please do me a quick favor, because I know it's been a couple weeks since we've been on. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Tag Lolly Dolly, anybody or everybody, and let them know today is Millionaire Monday and Ramon Preston is on live on the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me that favor. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to hit that share button. And I want you to tag somebody and let them know that we're live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community. We are live on the Ramon Preston Show. Please do me that favor. I'm reaching out to a few people now because I know it's been a couple weeks since, let's see here. It's been a couple weeks since we've been live. As you see behind me, I've been working on my studio and we're still doing a lot of work here. Hopefully within the next maybe week or two, I should have everything in our studio complete. It's a good little bit of work that we're getting done here in the studio. We've just been working on it, and the last couple of weeks we've had so much going on, preparing for an amazing 2 days of events this week. So please, if you're coming on live, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. I'm live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. I think it's been at least 2 to 3 weeks since I've been live on the Ramon Preston Show. And I told my squad this morning by surprise that I'm going to go live today. I'm just feeling some kind of way and I want to go live. I ain't been live on the show in a couple weeks because we've had so much going on. So please, could you put in the comments what city you're watching me from today if you're tuning in? Let me know by putting what city you're watching me from in the comments. I would love to know what city you're watching your boy from today in the comments. And I also want you to reach out to someone. Maybe you know an entrepreneur, someone who's already in business, or maybe they're thinking about doing business, but they don't quite have clarity or direction on what exactly they want to do, or they may not even know how to navigate through these tough, uncertain economic times that we're in. If you would be so kind, I want you to reach out to them. I want you to text them. I want you to tag them if you're watching from a social media platform, and let them know Ramon Preston is going to be talking about what you should be doing in this economic recession. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you've been in Mars with Elon Musk for the last couple weeks, we have seen a few bank failures. We are seeing other banks that are at the verge of failing. We are seeing industries disrupted. We are seeing communities transitioning. We're seeing nations going through these transitions, and a lot of people are uncertain. A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are just intimidated, and it's causing especially entrepreneurs to really contract. They're not really moving forward in the things that they need to be doing because they're just not sure what they should be doing. So again, if you're an entrepreneur, you got a business, you got a product, you got a service, you got some idea that you're introducing to the market, I want to talk to you today about what you should do in this economic recession. If you're not an entrepreneur, if you're a W-2 employee, you work for a company, but I know people just within the last few weeks who have lost their jobs. I mean, I've probably gotten maybe 4 or 5 emails from people who are looking for work and they're trying to figure out what the next step is for them. So there's a lot of volatility. That means there's a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of heat that's going on right now. And my job and my company and my organization and my team, our job is to really give you some information to show you, like, what do you do when you're in an economic recession? How do you pivot? How do you make the most? Okay, so if you have some questions that you would like asked today, I want you to put those questions in the comments. I'm really going to do my best. Right in front of me, I have my screen with the chat. So if you're on a platform, hopefully if you put that question or that comment in your comment section, it will come to my chat. So I'll be able to see your comments as they come in. And if you have any questions, maybe you have a question about your business. Maybe you've been following me for a while and you've been listening to me about holding companies. I've been talking about creative tax strategies. I'm talking about systems and processes. That's like the main thing that we do here at Ramon Preston Enterprises. So if you have some questions about holding companies, about creative tax strategies, or if you have questions about systems and processes, I would love to answer those questions and to give you some insight on those questions. So if you can, I want you to put in the comments what city you're watching me from today. And I want to say welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Just in case you don't know, now you know. My name is Ramon Preston. I'm the host of the Ramon Preston Show. And every Monday through Friday, with the exception of the last couple weeks, because I was really moving past the Ramon Preston Show. I had so much going on, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't even know if I need to be doing the show anymore. But just this past weekend, I really had like one of those epiphany moments. It was like a spiritual epiphany that I had this past weekend. And it was really God's way. It was God's way of reminding me of how important my assignment is to my community. It was God's way of reminding me that what He has anointed and assigned and instructed me to do, particularly in the marketplace, He was reminding me that it is essential. It is a necessity. And sometimes even when I may not feel like what I'm called and assigned to do is important, God has a way of reminding me through people, by the way, that what I'm called and assigned to do is a necessity and it's important. And so I'm the host of the Ramon Preston Show. When there's no interruptions or anything going on, I do my best to show up every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon. And when I do show up here on the show, my goal is to share information with you that you can use if you are an entrepreneur or if you are just looking to take your personal, maybe your professional and financial life to the next level. I'm qualified to have these conversations about business, entrepreneurship, money, and success because I have built a successful organizational enterprise. You know, I often use as a cliche, I've gone from hood figure to seven figures, meaning that I come from nothing. I don't have a formal education. I don't have any business background. I have a criminal background. I come from the guttermost. And my life up until 20 years old was that of a drug-addicted criminal. At 20, just shy of my 21st birthday, I was saved in a trap house. I got clean. I got sober. I started ministering, became a preacher. And I thought, especially after I became a preacher over 23 years ago, I thought that my whole life was just going to be filled with doing God's work, doing ministry, preaching, praying, prophesying, laying hands, teaching and ministering to God's people. But God had other plans. God had other plans. And about 22 years ago, by the end of 2001, the Lord started moving me towards becoming an entrepreneur. I was actually working a full-time job. I got fired from that job in 2001. It was actually the last job that I worked, and it was at that time of my life that God really began to deal with me about entrepreneurship. Fast forward a year or so after that moment, I was fired and God started dealing with me about entrepreneurship. I meet my beautiful wife. My wife and I, we get married 20 years ago in 2003. And we made a commitment that we were going to serve God. We were going to serve his people as ministers, and we were going to serve the business community as entrepreneurs. We believed that 20 years ago, my wife and I, we believed that God had given us a vision, that God had given us a mission for life to serve the church as ministers and to serve as ministers in the marketplace. And for the last 20 years, that's what my wife and I have done faithfully. So everything that I share with you, it is what I have experienced and what I've learned to build a seven-figure organizational enterprise. So I don't teach and give you fluff. I teach and give you things that I know work. As a matter of fact, I was just on the phone with a young lady that I've known for probably 20 years. She's a business colleague, and she was just commending me for what I've been able to accomplish since she's known me. And she was talking about joining my mentorship program. And one of the reasons why she knew that it was time for her to join my mentorship program is because she wants to continue to learn and grow. But she's also been able to watch my life and to see what God has done through me. So obviously what I'm saying has to work if it's working for me, which, by the way, if you following somebody and you listening to somebody and what they saying ain't working for them, then more than likely, if it ain't working for them, it might not necessarily work for you. All right. So I appreciate you joining the show today. Again, if you are watching me, wherever you're watching me from live, I want you to put in the comments what city you're watching me from. I've got an announcement that I'll make at the end of today's show. So if you have some available time on your schedule this Friday and this Saturday, I would love to offer you a VIP ticket to join me in person this Friday and this Saturday. I'm hosting 2 live events here at our headquarters in Buckhead, and both of them are going to be absolutely amazing. And I want to extend that invitation to you. I want to offer that opportunity for you to join me. It's going to be absolutely amazing, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're building your business, and you want to learn the ins and outs of what it takes to be successful. Listen, I'm telling you this, and this is no cap. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today on the show is going to speak to this. You got to put yourself at play in this season. This is, I heard an entrepreneur say it. He's a multimillionaire. I heard him say it the other day. He said, right now, where we are in this economic climate, he was saying we are literally in the playoffs. So it's like, you know, when you're playing sports, whether it's football or basketball, you're in the regular season, right? Then you get to the playoffs. But then after the playoffs, you go to the championship. And what this multimillionaire, he's a Christian believer, by the way, he was saying, we're not in the regular season of business right now. We're not in the regular season of entrepreneurship right now. We're not in the regular financial season right now. We are actually in the playoffs. And so the deeper you go into the season, the harder it gets and the less people are playing. So I want you to hear me, especially if you're a Christian. If you are a man or a woman of God, I want you to hear the prophetic words that are coming out of my mouth. This can very well be the best opportunity of your life as long as you're willing to lean in and do what is necessary to do for you to put yourself at play. If God is giving you an idea, if God is giving you a dream, a vision, if he's giving you a business, if he's giving you a concept, now is the time for you to lean into that thing. And if you're not leaning in that thing, it's probably because you don't have the confidence. And if you don't have the confidence, it's either because you're not around the right people or you're not spending enough time around the right people. Okay? So today, if you have a few minutes, I want to talk to you about what should you do in this economic recession, because we is in a recession. I know that's just as ghetto as it comes. We are in a recession. We're in a recession. I'm telling you, every week I get people sending emails and calling my wife and I telling us, hey, we don't have a job. We lost our job. We're trying to figure out what to do. We ain't got money. Our business is failing. We're not moving forward. Like, I hear this almost every day. And it's becoming more frequent and more common as we move into this year because we are in a recession. A lot of people are contracting. A lot of companies are contracting. A lot of families are contracting. But I'm telling you, and this is like a prophetic word for some of you who are believers and you understand the prophetic, this is the time for you to lean in. This is the time for God to show you a side of him through your business that you never seen before. So Ramon, what should I do in this economic recession? Well, for a lack of another way of explaining it, I've got 5 things that you should do. 5 things that you should do. And if you have a few minutes, I want you to write these 5 things down. I was actually intending to share these last week with my mentees on my coaching call, but we got so caught up in Q&A, I never really got a chance to deep dive into these 5 things, but I really just felt it in my spirit today that I needed to come live. I know some people wasn't even preparing for me to be live, but hey, it is what it is. You got to always be ready, especially when God is prompting you to do something. So what are the 5 things that you should be doing in this economic recession? I want you to write them down. Number 1, you should stay connected. Write these things down. Stay connected. Matter of fact, you should be writing down, I got to stay or I have to stay connected. This is the first thing you should be doing in this economic recession. Stay connected. Now listen to this because I take good notes for myself. You definitely need to stay connected to a local church family, especially if you are a believer. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've been church hurt, if you've had issues with churches and pastors and preachers. This is not the season and the time to be dealing with that. You got to get past that. You got to stay connected, and you need to be connected to a local church family. If you are an entrepreneur, you need to stay connected to a business community with like-minded people. Can you handle what I'm saying to you today? Let me know if you can handle what I'm saying to you today. If you can handle what I'm saying to you today, I want you to put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. I want you to put in the comments, Ramon, I can handle what you saying to me today, bruh. I said if you are a believer, you need to stay connected to a church family. If you're an entrepreneur, you also need to stay connected to a business community with like-minded people. Here is why you need to stay connected. All right? Proximity produces power. This is why you need to stay connected. This is free game. This is your lunch. This is your lunchtime, spiritual, financial, professional, entrepreneurial meal. Proximity produces power. This is why you need to stay connected. So the closer you are in proximity to the right people, the more power you produce. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, I'm an apostle. I no longer pastor the church that I planted. I'm an apostle, so I assume the role as the overseer of the church that I planted. My wife is the pastor. My spiritual mama is an apostle. My spiritual sister is a pastor. I support my spiritual sister who's a pastor. And so I'm showing you this because even though I am not pastoring, I'm still in proximity to power. So every Sunday, I get a chance to go to my sister's church, sit under her anointing, receive preaching from her. Every Sunday, I get a chance to go to my wife's church, sit under her anointing, receive preaching from her. What does that do for me? It produces power. Okay? I have a business coach who's a billionaire, who has a multi-billion-dollar organizational enterprise, has a community of tens of thousands of people, maybe several hundred people show up at these smaller events, depending on how far or how deep they are in his ecosystem. But these communities give me proximity that produces power. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got to stay connected. This is not the time to be staying home, being by yourself, isolating yourself. This ain't what's up. And if you're doing that, it's probably because you are offended, you are hurt, you have withdrawn yourself because you've been rejected and something has happened. People don't just do that naturally and normally, okay? So that's number one. First thing, stay connected, okay? Number two, if you're taking notes, number two, the second thing you should be doing in this economic recession is stay committed. Stay committed. Stay committed. I want you to write that down. I have to stay committed. Some of you have lost your commitment. If you are a part of my community, if you're a part of my ministry community, especially if I'm like a spiritual father or an apostle to you because you're a part of my church organization, you need to get back committed. If you're a part of my business community, if you're a student in my university, if you're a mentee in my mentorship program, you need to get back committed. This is not the time to give up. There are a few people that I've talked to just within the last couple weeks that have told me basically in no uncertain terms, I've given up. I'm not going to continue on with your community. I'm not going to continue on with what we're doing together. And it's because they're not committed. They've given up. But what they don't realize is they're giving up on themselves. You're not giving up on me. I'm committed to me. That's why I show up every day. I'm committed to what God has told me to do. I'm committed to my calling. I'm committed to my assignment. I'm committed to my wife, to my children, to my family, to my staff, to my business, to my students, to my church, to my tribe. I'm committed. So you got to stay committed. Listen to this. Your connections will support your commitment to keep doing what is right, even when everything seems to be going wrong. See, the reason why certain people lose their commitment because they lost their connections. You just missed I'm preaching without preaching. Did you hear what I said? There are people who have lost their commitment because they've lost their connections. Anytime you lose your connections, you're going to lose your commitment. So, for example, if you are a piece of equipment, like this piece of equipment is on. This is a digital board, right? And it has an assignment. It's committed to its assignment as long as it's connected. The moment I disconnect this equipment from the wall, it loses its commitment to stay on. And so you got to stay committed. Listen to this. You need a commitment to who? You need a commitment to people. See, a lot of times we all want a commitment to, man, my why. What is my why? We want a commitment to the what, man, my what, my business, my money. We want a commitment to the how. Man, if I could just figure out how to do this thing. If I what you don't realize is your commitment to all these things is tied to your commitment to the who. You get what I'm saying? See, sometimes when I'm not even committed to my why, my purpose, times when I'm not committed to my business, times when I'm not committed to the things I know I'm supposed to be doing, what keeps me committed to them is my commitment to people. So because I'm committed to my wife, because I'm committed to my family, because I'm committed to my staff, to my spiritual sons and daughters who respect me and honor me, and I'm an example to them and they admire me, my commitment to them keeps me committed to my purpose. It keeps me committed to my business and my ministry. It keeps me committed to the things that I know that work, that I just got to keep working. Do you understand what I'm saying? You ought to be putting something in the comments to respond to what I'm saying, because I'm really preaching without preaching. So that's number 2, stay committed. Number 3, stay consistent. This is hard. Stay consistent. You should keep pursuing your professional, financial, and personal goals all the time. You gotta stay consistent. Every day you should be figuring out, how can I continue to pursue my ministry goals, my business goals, my church goals, my relationship goals, my health goals. Every day I've got to figure out, what can I do to be consistent in pursuing my goals? Well, first of all, in order to be consistent in pursuing goals, you got to have goals. You should have your goals written down in your phone. So I have goals written down on paper, but I also have my goals written down in my notes in my phone. So guess what? Every morning when I wake up, before I go to an app, I'm going to go to that app to see my notes. You get what I'm saying? Listen to this. Stay consistent, because this too shall pass. I literally wrote this down. I'm a preacher, so I'm always put some scriptures in there. Stay consistent, because this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Listen to me. This too shall pass. Do you understand that? This too shall pass. So don't let a temporary situation force you to make a bad permanent decision. Whatever you're going through right now, it's going to pass. Oh, but you don't know my money problem, bro. This too shall pass. But yeah, man, you don't know the problem. This is supposed to be a business. You don't know the problem I'm having with my business, dog. Yeah, but you don't know the physical problem that I'm having. Listen, I say this respectfully. It really doesn't matter what financial problems you having, what organizational problems you having, business, professional, what personal, physical problems you having. This too shall pass. You need to write that down. And what you need to do, write down your bills and put this too shall pass. Write down the name of your business or ministry and put this too shall pass. Write down the name of the situation that's plaguing your personal life and put this too shall pass, because this too shall pass. All right. So number 3, stay consistent. Number 4, stay courageous. Stay courageous. One of the things that God told Joshua was, you need to stay courageous. He actually told him to take courage. Bruh, you need to take courage. So you need to stay courageous. And think about this. I want you to hear this. Courage is not doing something in the absence of fear. Courage is doing something in the midst of fear. So it's not that I'm not scared, but it's that even though I'm scared, I still got to do it. So you still got to make a phone call. Me and my team this morning, we came in here, we study, we train, we role play, and guess what we do? Even before we got up off the table, my team, I want to set an example for them. Guess what I did? I opened up my computer, I went to my CRM, and I started making phone calls on the spot. I got hung up on, I got sent the voicemail, but guess what? I still made the call. Okay? That's courage. I'm courageous enough to show up on this show. I mean, look, I'm still working. My studio looks a mess. I'm not even near where I want it to be, but I'm courageous enough to still show up. Even though I still hear a little echo in the room, it don't matter. You can hear enough to know that I'm saying something that's worth you listening to, because I got courage. I don't have to be perfect. I'm courageous. All right? Stay courageous. Listen to this. God has given you that dream, that vision, that idea, that ministry, that business, and you must go all the way. You must go all the way. You must go all the way. Number 5, stay competent. Stay competent. We live in a world, one of my colleagues was just telling me that earlier. She was like, this is one of the reasons why she's joining my mentorship program. She was like, I got to stay up to date. I got to be competent. I got to stay in the know. I got to learn about business today, not 20 years ago. I need to know what it is to run a business now. The way you ran a business 3 years ago, pre-COVID, is different from how you run a business now. And think about it. You might be trying to build a business today on an idea you got before COVID. See, one of my courses, in my Millionaire Blueprint, one of my courses is called Post-Pandemic Business Solutions. Let me tell you something. In that course alone, I show you how to change your mind about living in a post-pandemic world. Because most people, they still live in a pre-pandemic world. They think like they're pre-pandemic. They live like they're pre-pandemic. They work like they're pre-pandemic, as if we ain't in a new world. The new world order is already taking place, baby. And you got to get in the know, all right? So you got to stay competent. Listen to this. You have to continue learning so you can continue becoming a different version of yourself. See, your business is not going to change if you're not changing. Your finances ain't going to change if you ain't changing. See, I didn't start seeing change in my finances until I saw change in me. As a matter of fact, just this past weekend, I told you earlier, I had this spiritual epiphany. And one of the things that the Lord was showing me was what I did a couple years ago before the pandemic hit. And I did it so consistently over such a long period of time, it literally changed me in like 6 months. There were certain things I was doing every day, and within a 6-month window, it was as if I became a totally different person in a few certain areas of my life, right? And the Lord had to remind me, I want you to go back to that, because you want to get to that next level. You want to be a multimillionaire. You want to be on your way to becoming a billionaire. Here's what you need to do. And now's the time to do it, because a lot of people are falling off. A lot of people are getting weary. A lot of people are giving up. A lot of people are not investing in themselves and their businesses. Now is the time to do it. And I'm saying that to you. I'm saying that to you. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me when I say this, all right? You must study to show yourself approved. If you are a coach, a leader, listen to me, you just cannot lead people and you're not being led. You ain't learning nothing. You ain't growing as a person. You ain't stretching yourself. Like, who's pouring into you? Because if I'm following you, I'm looking at you to see who's pouring into you. Where are you getting information from? Is there anybody helping you become a better version of you? Because if not, I'm not going to follow you too long, because I'm going to just feel like we both going for a walk. So you have to stay competent. And last but not least, here's the 6th thing you should be doing in this economic recession. Stay calculated. Excuse me. Stay calculated. You should be clear about the cost you will pay to win or lose. Did you hear me? You should be clear about the cost you will pay to win or lose. What I mean by that is you need to be clear and calculated on how much is it costing for you to win, but also how much is it costing for you to lose. See, a lot of people don't count up the cost because they think, oh, just because I'm not spending money, I'm not wasting money. Well, if you spending time, you wasting money. So you need to be calculated, and you need to stay calculated. So there are a lot of things you're not buying, you're not paying for, you're not investing in, and it's causing you to lose. And I guarantee you, losing can cost more than winning. Losing can cost more than winning. So for example, if there's something that you need in order to get further ahead, if there's a certain type of education you need, if there's a certain type of support you need, maybe there's certain type of technologies and systems you need, whatever the things are that you need to win and to succeed, you might be thinking, well, I can't afford that. Yeah, I can't pay for that. I just don't have the money to do it. But is the cost that you're paying for this that can help you to win, is it more because you're not paying for it to lose? A lot of people lose more money not doing things than they would have spent just doing things. So I want you to take those 6 things that I just gave you. These are the 6 things that I believe you should be doing in this economic recession. Number 1, stay connected. Number 2, stay committed. Number 3, stay consistent. Number 4, stay courageous. Number 5, stay competent. And number 6, stay calculated. That's what I want you to do. Now, hopefully by now, you at least have some change of mind and you're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about where you are in today's world. And you might be thinking about where you want to be. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to get further as a person, you want to become a better version of yourself, especially if you don't have some type of educational schedule, if you're not on any programs, you might not have a mentor or a coach. And I'm not talking about the Google mentors or the YouTube coaches. I'm not talking about the people you think you're following because you follow them on social media. All right? It don't work like that. I don't care how many Google searches you do. I don't care how many studies and researches you perform. It doesn't matter how many videos you watch on YouTube, how many influencers you follow on social media. At a certain point, you're going to have to choose somebody. You have to pick and decide and say, here is who I want to follow, and I'm going all in. Because you want people to do it for you. You want people to support you. Well, you're going to have to figure out that for yourself as well. This Friday and this Saturday, March 24th and 25th, I'm hosting 2 events right here at my headquarters. Friday is going to be our headquarter day. It's a concept that I adopted from my mentor. He hosts headquarter days. And so it's a day that you get an opportunity to come for maybe 6 hours or so, spend the day with me and my team and other entrepreneurs, and you can just learn the ins and outs of what we do to run our company. Like the fact that I have built a 7-figure organization, it's probably worth a couple $1 million if we valuated it. We've got assets, we've got business operations, we make money. Hey, we doing it. It is what it is in real time. This ain't something that you can't find. You could come here in person and see what me and my company, what we're doing. And so I want people to have that opportunity. I want you to have that experience. So that's going to be Friday. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be training you and deep diving with you on things that make up our company. I'm going to be showing you how we start our days, how we train our staff, how we role play and prepare ourselves for business every day, Monday through Friday at least. I'm going to be showing you how we put together our programs and our services and our products. I'm going to be showing you how we acquire clients, how we onboard them, how we service our clients. You know, I'm going to be showing you a little bit of our accounting and our operations and our marketing and our sales. I'm going to open the hood. I'm going to pull up the hood of our business and let you look under, and you can ask questions, things that you might be dealing with. I want to help you along the way. All right. So that's going to be this Friday. And then this Saturday, I'm hosting a 1-day boot camp from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a coaching boot camp. So I've created 3 divisions under my umbrella, under my company umbrella. I have 3 different, I have other divisions, but 3 of my divisions are multiple 6-figure divisions. I have a coaching division, a consulting division, and an educational division. I have other divisions. We do real estate. We got all kind of stuff going on in our company. But these 3 divisions, they make multiple 6 figures. And so my coaching boot camp, I teach you the 20-point process that I've used to build those businesses, to show you how to become a successful coach. Like if you want to be a coach and a consultant and an educator, you want to build a successful business around it, I can show you easily how to do it and make 6 figures a year. Easy. You got to do the work, but I've got the formula. I've got the framework, and I'm giving it to you this Saturday. You could join me for both. I would love to give you a VIP ticket to both, okay? Now, if you are a member of my mentorship program, you can join me this Friday and Saturday free. It comes with your membership. I give a lot of value to the people who are in my mentorship program. A lot of value. I mean, I give a lot of value to the students who are on my university. But if you're in my mentorship program, you get a lot of value. You get weekly coaching calls every Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. We host a live coaching call. It's private. It's a Zoom coaching call where you can ask questions. You get a good lesson. We do a lot of deep diving. If you're in my mentorship program, you get access to my Millionaire Blueprint educational program for 1 whole year, unlimited access to it. My mentorship program members, they get access to my workshops and my live events, like the 2 events that I'm hosting this Friday and this Saturday. So you want a VIP ticket to join me this Saturday? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to text the word coach. Text the word coach to 678-276-8253. You want a VIP ticket to my event Friday and my event Saturday. Just text the word coach to 678-276-8253. So listen, if you've listened to all of the 6 things that I said you should be doing in this economic recession, I want you to put in the comments, what is your biggest takeaway so far? Like, what is the thing you heard today that you're like, oh my God, this is it, bro. Like, this is it. Man of God, you giving me the game today. This is what I need. And I'm telling you, as a prophet, that this is the season, the time, and the moment in history that God wants to take that idea you have. He wants to take that product and that service and that business, and he wants to introduce it to the marketplace and make you successful. But you have to be willing to put yourself at play. How do I put myself at play? You got to learn the game. You got to learn about business. You got to learn about entrepreneurship. You got to learn about money. You got to learn about being a leader. These are things that you just got to learn. And you're not going to learn them browsing the internet. You're going to learn them by connecting to someone like me who understands it and who can train you and educate you and mentor you and coach you and support you so that you can be that person and see that success show up in your business. So I want to provide that for you. I want to give you access to my online training. I want to give you access to my weekly coaching calls. I want to give you access to my live events like the 2 that I'm hosting this Friday and Saturday. I want to give you access to my community. I want you to be a part of what we're doing because God is using us in a mighty way to do great things in the marketplace. So reach out to me, text the word coach to 678-276-8253. I appreciate you for joining the Ramon Preston Show today. I'll be back tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon, Eastern Standard Time. Don't meet me here, beat me here, but be sure to text coach to 678-276-8253. 53. Love you. Appreciate you. Have an amazing day. I'll see you on the other side.